the Reptile Barn. Today I want to talk about how we socialize our reptiles. Just some of the different things we try to get our animals used to handling and that kind of thing. We're going to start with easiest to hardest. Right now we only have 3 species in here. We're going to add a couple more this summer, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I'll just take you from easiest to hardest as far as what we've got. Now we luckily have some that are very easy and then one that's very difficult. So at least we'll get to, have some scale here. So we're going to start with ball python. We have a lot of ball pythons, and I'll start with a hatchling because they tend to be the most skittish, the most willing to bite, certainly. However, to socialize our ball pythons, generally, this is how it goes. Now, mind you, this is a newborn. Okay, just came out of the egg like a week ago, just shed literally today. So this is as fresh as it gets. This is how we do it. Ta-da! And we're done. Just reach in and pick them up. You might get tagged occasionally. They are a little bit nervous at this age, but that is all there is to it with a ball python. You just pick them up. If they're really striking as you're trying to get into the cage, you can approach them from behind, but this guy didn't even strike, so there was no worries at all. You can even, with larger snakes especially, you can use kind of like a paper towel roll, and that does 2 things. One, it blocks you from getting bit with something soft that's not going to hurt their teeth. And 2, the paper towel roll does not have a heat signature. So they're not nearly as keyed into it as far as wanting to strike and bite something. Your hand is really warm and they can see that with their heat pits. So a paper towel roll works well, with larger snakes. You could even do it with a ball python. Yeah, so with our ball pythons, that's how it goes. If you have a super defensive one, an animal that just will not calm down, you can work with it. I've heard a couple different things. It was suggested to us that you can kind of take them out and put them next to you, like sit them on a bed and then just keep doing your thing, and so they get used to you. I've heard use clear cages, people with them in a glass tank. That could be one way. Our tubs are clear, so that they see you coming in and out of the snake room all the time, or whatever room you're keeping them in, and slowly get used to your presence. But yeah, with the ball python, really there's not much to worry about. Even if they do bite you, it's not a bad bite at all. I mean, it really isn't. But yeah, so that's all we do with our ball pythons. Just pick them up, and usually after even just a couple weeks, they've calmed right down. Our hatchlings, from 3-4 weeks ago, they are totally chill. Not a single one of them is trying to bite anymore. And at first they were, right out of the egg they were. But yeah, so beautiful little banana ball python just hatched out. Really happy with these. Next up, we have our Dominican red mountain boas, Chilobothres striatus. Now, again, it's a snake. It's not a particularly temperamental snake, but they are a little bit more nervous than a ball python. So this is a little bit, I wouldn't even call it intermediate. Still pretty easy. However, these ones will musk if they're really nervous. Like any snake, they can bite. I'll just pull one out and we'll see how this goes. And I'm going to pull it out one-handed. Anyway, she's probably in her log. By the way, just a little side note, we're pretty excited about what we're going to do with these. These are big, open cages right now. There's not much going on in here. We are going to be ramping these up, and it's going to be pretty awesome. Anyways, I'm guessing she's in here. This is her favorite spot. Hey, little girl, where are you? It's so dark in here. Sorry, guys. Anyways, so I'll just gently move this log. Don't want to make her fall or anything. There she is. So yeah, listen, you'll probably hear her hiss when I approach her. Just pick her on up. This is very difficult one-handed, guys. I apologize if I'm not catching all this on the camera. Oh, she went into her log and is coming back out. So let me get her out of here. There we go. Come here, girl. And I've got her. She's putting the squeeze on my hand here. So this is little Ann, our Dominican red mountain boa. Beautiful red phase. Or the Haitian boa, I should say. And with the trick with these guys, I've learned you got to keep handling them. If we go weeks and weeks without pulling them out, you're going to get musked next time you go to pull them out. At least that's with our two. This is an unrelated pair, and they're beautiful, beautiful snakes. We love them, but they are a little bit willing to musk, definitely. And it smells. It really is a nasty smell. They don't really bite. We've been bit once right at the beginning when we first got them out of the box. Other than that, never been bit. Thank goodness. I don't like getting bit. But they're not huge fangs or anything like that. It wouldn't be the end of the world. But yeah. So again, approach from behind. Don't come in straight at their face. That's going to make them scared. And the trick with any reptile, but especially ones that are a little more nervous, is go ahead and handle them quite a bit. Once they've settled in, when you first buy them and you've got them set up, I'd leave them for a while, let them settle in. But after you've had them for a while and they're settled into their enclosure, handle them a good bit. I know that goes against what some people say about reptiles, but definitely they calm down. They learn to trust you if you are handling them frequently, and that's what we're trying to do with these guys. They still hiss a little when we go to pull them out, but we haven't been musked in a while, which is nice, because man, does it stink up this whole room. Anyway, so that's little Ann, and now we're going to talk about advanced animal as far as socializing and how to take care of them and everything. So let me get her back, and we'll talk about our last animal. Alright, so this is little Blue's enclosure. He is our blue tree monitor, Varanus macraei. You can kind of see his tail in the back half of him. Back here, he's chilling out on a log down on the bottom. There's this real long prehensile tail. This is a very, very skittish species of animal. This is a monitor lizard, and not all monitors are skittish, but the smaller arboreal ones are. Varanus prasinus, Varanus beccari, Varanus ricingeri. These guys are definitely skittish. Takes a long, long, long time to gain their trust. So, what can be done? The biggest, absolute biggest thing is time. They need time. They need to settle in. It takes them a long, long time. I have a very busy cage in there with lots of fake plants, cork tubes all over the place, a good layer of bedding on the bottom, a little water bowl, and then a food bowl that I can keep some insects in. Try and keep it busy in there so he can come out and still feel like he has some hiding, if that makes sense. You gotta remember, this is a very tiny lizard, especially as a baby, from the jungle. And there's a lot of predators, there's a lot of birds of prey, there's a lot of larger reptiles, there's mammals, there's all sorts of things that'll eat these guys. So they just have to feel like anything's out to get them. They need to run and hide whenever they can. These guys don't tail whip, they don't really even bite, they just run away. So to socialize them, there's a few things. So again, time, give them a long time. I'm talking, 6-8 months before you should expect them to just happily come out and walk on your hands. Some people kind of force them to, they pull them out and they let them run through their hands until they get tired, and sometimes they just kind of freeze and sit there. I was told not to do that, and frankly I agree. That seems like pushing it to me. So we haven't handled him really since we got him, and he has gotten more used to our presence. We've had him for 2 months now, and he used to run and hide in the same little cork tube every single time that we came in the room. It was really sad. Now, if I move slow and I'm not talking, he'll sometimes stay right out in the open, basking. He likes to bask. Monitors need very high basking temperatures. Anyway, So there are a few things you can do. I don't know if you've ever seen Kevin McCurley from Nerd. He hand tames or socializes his water monitors, Verena Salvatore, and while they're not nearly as skittish just right off the bat as these guys are, the babies are small, they're scared of things, and he's got his routine down. I strongly suggest you go watch that if you're interested in this. There's a couple other people on YouTube that you can look into that do really cool stuff to socialize their monitors. Because they're such a rewarding species. They can become very interactive, very intelligent. They learn. Some monitors have been proven to be able to count. I mean, very awesome species to keep across the board, all monitors really. And one thing that we were told is get them used to tongue feeding. When we first got him, first week or so, he wouldn't eat anything at all, no matter what, and that was very stressful. But over the next couple weeks, we got him so he was consistently eating crickets and then small pieces of Pinky Mouse every once in a while, just for a little extra boost. And I'd say 2 or 3 weeks ago, he started taking Pinky Mouse off the tongs, which was really exciting. Now, he wasn't doing it confidently. He'd kind of want to be inside his tube, and we'd have to poke it with the tongs inside his tube with him so that he didn't feel like we could see him at all, and then he'd take it off the tongs. After a little while doing that, he started taking even insects off the tongs, and that was really exciting. And he's gotten more and more bold as this has gone along. So we hope that he will take it off the tongs today as we're recording. So let me get some Pinky Mouse. I don't know if he's going to. I've been talking, been moving around a lot, cleaning snake cages and everything. And he doesn't like the camera. It's a big black thing poking in his face. But we'll see. There's a chance. If not, though, at least I walked you through the steps on this very skittish species. And you'll just have to trust me that he has been taking things off the tongs. But I'll try and get it on camera. So give me just a second. So that was tongue feeding. It actually went really well. He really likes the mice, so I'm glad I did this on a feeding day, because when I feed all the snakes once a week, that's the day I pick to feed him a mouse instead of normally he eats crickets. So yeah, the idea is you get him tongue feeding and he really strongly starts to associate you with food, and that makes them happy. And hopefully they never have a bad experience with you. You don't want them to have anything that would make them fear you. And over time, with the positive reinforcement of the food and the lack of negative reinforcement, they slowly do come to trust you. And you see videos of people with this exact species that are out holding them, they're, crawling all around them, totally calm and unafraid. And that's the goal we want with our reptiles. We don't want them living in fear. We want to be able to interact with them as much as we can. And it's never going to be like a dog. I laugh when I hear people, with a tegu or a rhino iguana, they're like, it's just like it's not like a dog, okay? It's just not like a dog. However, they can be very friendly. They can be trusting. They don't love you like a dog loves you. There's not that like desire to please like you see in dogs. However, they can be intelligent, they can be fun, very interactive, and that's the goal we want with our pets, right? So from a ball python that's just going to start out much more calm and trusting, up through all the different snakes. You've got a whole gamut as far as snakes go. And we're going to be getting a species here soon that is known for their just overwhelming confidence right off the bat. These ones are famous for, you can go out in the wild and if you find one, you can pick it up and normally you're not going to get bit. They're just very, very confident animals. A lot more fast moving than a ball python. However, we'll get to that when we ship them up. All the way up to this tree monitor, who it's been months and he's still just kind of scared. And if too many people come in here, he's running for it. He's hiding all the time. He mostly likes to come out and bask when there's no one else in here. Took him a long time to even eat in front of us. Now he's eating off tongs, so he's definitely making progress. I'd guess in another 6 months he's going to be extremely well socialized, but that's a long time frame. Not everyone wants a pet that they have to put that much time into before they get that, I can pull it out and hold it without stressing it out kind of thing. So anyway, I hope this vlog was interesting to you guys. It's a little bit different than our normal vlogs, but yeah, it's just been something I've been thinking about a lot as we're trying to get Little Blue here socialized, so I figured I'd make a vlog about it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it, and till next time, we're the Reptile Barn.